Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for the Chelsea Show. I've managed to take myself away from FIFA to host the show, which is a massive achievement for me. So well done, Niall. Andrew's laughing his head off. I'm not sure what Andrew's laughing his head off.
The person below me, I'm laughing at them. That was I just heard them. That was
we are joined by Andrew, and we are also joined by Prime. How are we both doing?
I'm doing very well, and I'm awake, so I'm very well.
What about you, Prime? How are you doing, mate?
Oh, brilliant! That's one of the best things you've ever said, Prime. I gotta say.
if I'm right.
You just need to mute him.
Yeah, he's muted himself, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It looks like this could become a two-man show by the end of this.
We'll try our best.
It's okay. I think we've done it before. I mean,
do you want one-word answers so you can get back to FIFA?
Nah. I should be all right. I'll have 3 hours after this.
The FIFA shakes.
The FIFA shakes. You right, Prime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. So we'll start with where should we start? We'll start with Saturday. Last Saturday that was. I know, Andrew, that's exactly what Tuco thought of that performance as well.
Oh,
that was bad. Charl blames Jorginho 30%. The rest of the team 20%. And 50% to Tuchel. We'll dive into it. So, does Jorginho deserve 30% of the blame?
No, that's just ridiculous. To blame one player that gets 30%, but the rest get 20% It was a collective.
So one player gets 30, and
10%
the rest
more
of the team,
than the other 10.
The rest of the team gets 20.
I think that's a slight exaggeration. I would say 2 players come out with any credit, I think, and one of them was a sub, like Thiago Silva obviously cleared the line. The other one was obviously the goalkeeper, Mendy. I'm not, maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek to a lesser extent looked bright, but I'm not one of these. I don't know if you've heard now that apparently we played better after we made the formation change, even though they still had the better chances and we didn't have any shots on goal. But apparently,
I do often wonder about that. How you improve when you don't actually have a shot all game?
And they still made our goalkeeper make some saves. So
that's a bit odd.
Yeah.
That is a bit odd.
Jorginho. Listen, he played badly as well. I'm not denying that, but 30% is a slight exaggeration. I know Charlotte doesn't like him, but
I mean, I'm all up for it because he is Italian, and I have a thing against Italians at the moment. So I still have.
Not buying any Italians on FIFA, are you? No, not buying any Italian players on FIFA.
No.
Chiesa, not buying Chiesa.
No.
Locatelli or something.
No, I'd rather buy Emil Smith-Rowe and Gabriel Martinelli above the Italians. I know. In fact, just to piss off Arsenal fans, I legit did just sign Gabriel Martinelli for Manchester United, which is quite funny.
Stick him in the reserves.
He's not getting above Rashford anyway, so he is sort of basically in the reserves.
Send him on a 2-year loan somewhere. 2-year loan.
No, I'm just going to let him on the bench. Cop says I had 2 defeats in a row against City and Juve. I'm not judging you. They are tough teams. I didn't watch the Juve match, but the City game was poor. We'll get into that one. The forecast is over. Is loving Andrew. Big up Josh. Andrew is here. The do. Big up Daniel. Jorginho should take a nice long rest, preferably out of England. He can go back to Italy. He can go chill with Bonucci and the attempted assassin who tried to kill Bukayo Saka. I don't like Saka, but there was no need to try and kill him, Chiellini.
Bukayo Saka. Be down.
Jorginho being overplayed too. We'll get into that sort of in a bit, because there's also a left back that I read a really interesting article last night. No, I genuinely did. A really interesting article. And it just shows why Thomas Tuchel is one of the best managers in the league on what he's dealing with. So we will talk about that, because I was thinking, what can we talk about? And I was avoiding Mason Mount like the plague, because I already see that, you know, on Twitter, they're like, we need Mason Mount back. And I'm like, I'm not willing to have another debate. I would rather shit in my hands and start clapping than have to debate Mount again. But prime Manchester City wasn't the greatest game to be a part of, or to even watch, you know.
I don't know what people are going on about. I think defensively, we were brilliant. Gentlemen, Mendy had a...
Okay, let me rephrase it. For a neutral, that was the worst game to watch in the history of football.
Even from a neutral point of view, I think it was still a good game to watch. Defensively, look, Mendy was, I would still say, man of the match. Thiago Silva made some great last-ditch tackles as well, or defensive blocks. Is that the right word to use? I think going forward, we were awful. And once we went 1-0 down, we kept trying to force it, and we kept pushing. And that left us exposed once City went 1-0 up, which was when we started playing badly, in my point of view. But yeah, I don't know, Chelsea fans snapping and overreacting and complaining about stuff when only a week ago, you know, we were apparently the best team in the world because we got a draw against Liverpool and beat Spurs 3-1. Or sorry, 3-0. We were the best team in the world.
Don't give him a goal. They don't deserve a goal. Don't give him a goal.
So...
just touching on that.
I've flip-flops from Chelsea, I don't like that.
I mean, to be fair, there are some people that says thank you for Champions League, but it's time to go, which I thought was absurd.
That's not a real Chelsea fan.
Thank you for the Champions League that you absolutely should never have won, but it's time to go. You've lost a game. Absolutely disgraceful. Get the fuck out of my club. It would not surprise me if Harry Redknapp was the one to start the petition. Or Jamie Redknapp. One of them two. One of the Redknapps. Or do you reckon Harry and... what's that dickhead's name? The one that blocked you? The one that said Roman didn't understand Chelsea.
Oh, Rory Jennings.
Yeah.
That's the one. Do you reckon Harry Redknapp and Rory Jennings are sat there going, he's lost the game, right? That's it. We need Frank back. We need Golden Boy back. I mean, no, that's absurd on the best of days. Let alone, you know, after he's won the Champions League. But I do want to just criticise Tuchel just slightly, and he's not immune from criticism, of course.
You're right.
When you obviously didn't have Mount for this game, but every time Mount has played, he's sort of been that link between the midfield and the attack when you've played against City, yeah? You think back to the FA Cup, the Champions League, he's been that link.
I agree.
I thought on Saturday you lacked a link. Now, I don't know who could do that. Maybe a Havertz would have been better to link the ball with Lukaku and Werner. I think what you ultimately should have done is you played a midfield three of Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic, didn't you?
Yeah.
I thought that was a little too defensive. I thought, you know, keep with the Jorginho and the Kovacic, or Kante and Kovacic, or you know, Kante, Jorginho, however which way you want to do it, the two of those. But if you'd had that link, that Havertz who, you know, can drop in a bit if needed, but can also progress the ball forward to Lukaku and Werner. Because no, you had pace up there. You just didn't get that personal link in the two areas up. Do you think the game would have been different? Because I do feel that you just lacked getting that ball forward, and when you did it didn't work because there was too much space between your midfield and your midfield and your attack, I thought.
Yeah.
I think us playing...
Sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, sorry, Andrew, you go.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. I was going to say usually, I would usually, obviously a player like Mount or another player like that. I would just like to profess that Mount is not on form this season, right? He's not on form. It's not as if it's not last season's Mount that I would go, yeah, we definitely missed him. I don't know I don't know if he would have made a difference. I really don't. My thing criticising Tuchel was that this is the first time I saw him be reactionary instead of proactive. I thought he should have changed something at half time before they scored the 1 goal, but he changed it after we scored the 1 goal. You're right. This formation, it's one of those things when this type of that midfield sometimes, as we saw on Tuesday, is very slow. Sometimes we're very slow in our build up. Yeah. But then none of the players behind Lukaku are actually playing well, or they're injured, or they're not being picked. So it's like one of those. It's like, and this could happen in something like this, especially with a Mount where he's just not in form. So I'm loath to go if it was Mount on form like last season, I would go, yeah, you're right. But this Mount was hauled off at halftime against Spurs because he stunk out the place. And even Tuchel said that's part of the reason he hauled him off in his press conference today. So that silenced anyone else who thinking it was just a simple tactical switch. It was both. But I really don't know. Maybe
maybe not so much of a Mount, but I just think you need a link.
Yeah, I totally agree.
When you play with that midfield, and as you've alluded to, it is really slow. It is really lethargic.
Yeah, and it's so defensive as well. It's not like Conte's. It's not like Conte's 3-4-3.
Exactly.
And even Alonso was back then was more. Yeah. Attacking wise.
Yeah, exactly. I just feel that you needed something to link the two up, and you need that in any team, right? You need to be able to link your goalkeeper to your defense to your midfield to your attack. I just thought that you connected the back bit, you didn't connect the attack bit, and that is one of the reasons why I don't think you even had a shot on target.
Well, shall I tell you what the simplistic thing for me, and it's very, I know it's not, don't take it for anything, but. And it's hard to say, if you had a player like a Hazard who can take the ball and dribble past like about 3 or 4 players and move the ball forward, that's it. But at the moment, no one is. Obviously, they're not going to take the standards of Hazard, but no one at the moment is of that type.
You heard it here first. Andrew says Roman is a disgrace for selling Hazard. But Prime, what do you make of that?
I would swap last season's Champions League for Prime Hazard back.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
That's not even. Our forwards are so poor. I'm not even joking. Our forwards are so poor, man. Like. Listen. Hold on. No. We have to go. Hold on. We have to just go back just a second, Prime. I'll let you land just a second. But you would sacrifice a Champions League trophy? No. You know what? No. You know I'm joking.
Well, I just needed clarification there because for the people listening that could legit get clipped, and
Yeah, but you can't see my face, so it's not me. Anyway, as I was saying,
there's a bang on imitation of you.
As I was saying, I don't. Well, this is for anyone who's looking for me. This is Will_1905 on Twitter. Anyway, I don't blame Tuco. Again, I think look. If Mount was fit, would he have made a difference? No. Like Andrew said, because he's not necessarily on form. However, Mount does turn up in big games. So, he would have started against City. Plus, Kante, I know he played, but he wasn't 100% fit either. So I understand flooding the midfield with a 3, which, again, Mount would have done anyway, because that's what Mount does in big games. He drops in and makes it a 3 in midfield. My problem... I don't know if it was Tuchel who did this or the players themselves. My problem is when we went a man down and we kept trying to rush things and force it. And we kept trying to get the goal instead of continuing playing the way we normally play. That's what annoyed me because it allowed us to get sloppy and allowed City to get in behind way too much. We played City last year in the FA Cup semi-final. We went a man down. Second half, we continued playing the same way. And I don't mean tactically, but I mean in terms of our tempo, we continued playing the same way. We didn't try and rush it. And then we eventually got the equalising goal. And then we went on to win the game.
Yeah.
Against Juve, which I'm sure we'll get on to later, again, we went at 1-0 down and then we started rushing things. And we lost the game. And I don't like when we do that because these players are not, I don't know what it is, but they're not good at forcing things because they're not elite. At least not yet anyway. And
you lack
quality.
a sort of Bruno player to force it through, don't you? Because
with
Bruno, he'll do it so many times. He'll force the issue so many times. One of them will come off. I just feel that
I wouldn't even like a Bruno in this team because he's too. Bruno works for Man United, but
what I'm saying is,
I still look at Bruno as too selfish. Like Andrew said, a Hazard, someone who would literally take the game by the scruff of the neck, and
this whole selfishness stuff.
I'm
going to be doing
miss so much.
I'm going to be doing a massive debate on the United show about selfishness because it is doing my head in. Ronaldo fanboys have started picking on a Greenwood, and this man here is about to. Every single one of those Ronaldo fanboys are about to meet me, and it's going to be painful.
Midfield options, though. I'm going to say this. It's going to sound weird coming from me.
Ross Barkley is world class.
We sent a midfielder out on loan. He's doing very well, and I think it's time that we bring Conor Gallagher back.
Shut up, Johnny. Shut up, Johnny.
So I just want to,
Shut up, Johnny.
To be fair, I thought you were on about Gilmore, but no, Gallagher is a great time.
He would have made a difference. He would have made a difference.
Some comments here. Joel, best left back on this team's hand down. Edouard Mendy is brilliant on great form.
I think we can upgrade on him, to be fair.
Ben Chilwell got kidnapped by Tuco. No, he hasn't. We'll talk about that in a moment. Big up to Niall. He may love the content. Some Chelsea fans already Tuco out disgraceful fan base. I know.
Lampard.
I was playing FIFA career mode on PS5 when I decided to sign Cristiano Ronaldo to Mickey Mouse Club FC Manchester United. Something crazy happened when I viewed him in the shortlist. It said, "Cannot approach Finnish players." I was in shock, but not surprised. I hear that. I do hear that.
I just got a request from Wayne. He just messaged me if we can not interrupt each other and just let the conversation flow.
I will try.
He's messing.
Andrew, you CUNT. Don't do that.
The only criticism Tuchel should get is running out some of the same players who have been performing poorly. Alonso, Jorginho, Ziyech. Okay. Yes, I agree. Andrew, bring Hazard back. Good point. Harry says, cheat ski, I absolutely finished. As a very, very honest...
he's Mustafa's talking about Jorginho. Okay.
No, that's Heung-min Son, isn't it?
Yeah, Heung-min Son.
Oh, Heung-min Son, okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
When did he start?
Every team has Lukaku found out.
Mm.
Yes, Josh, I'm here. I'm there. I'm everywhere. Love it. Yes, lads, Andrew. How did Chelsea stop rushing things when things are not going well? Just relax. Take time. Be composed. Don't be a bunch of drama queens. All of this. And that. Big up, guys. One thing we lack is dribblers, not skillful players. Dribblers. But I would hear that. I do hear that. Big up to Wayne. Absolutely. There's only one Wayne Moulds. There is.
I've checked.
Bruno is a spammer. Like Ziyech, he is a final form Ziyech. We need a pop.
No, he's not. Ziyech is like levels down.
Andrew loves the Cobham boys. Absolutely.
You're right. Ziyech is like Bruno. I compared that last season, but he's just like, what's the comparison? He's like Bruno is Jack Grealish and Ziyech is Emile Smith Rowe. That's the comparison.
Jesus Christ.
Grealish is getting world-class shouts, and Smith Rowe finishes 8th in the Premier League.
Hold on. No, did you just say
That's the
Jack
comparison
Grealish
we're talking about here. No, but that's what people say. So I don't rate Jack Grealish, but no.
Neither do I. I think he's just a long hair merchant. Reece is our best crosser in the team by far. When he's gone, our crossing quality does drop a bit. I hear that. I do hear that. Prime, if you wanted to slate Jorginho, you could have just asked. Andrew Zg, always good on stream. Absolutely. Bruno's on a different level to Ziyech, so you cheat ski fans are deluded. I'm not sure. Harry, who do you support, by the way? Just out of curiosity. But I do want to move on.
Why are we cheat ski as well? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Because Roman came and we're a small club. Came, we're a small club. We cheated our way to success. Yada, yada, yada. Wah, wah, wah. We have 2 Champions Leagues.
You cheating bastards.
18 years
I know. But I want to move over to Juventus. But before I do that, I want to sort of split up the games because I don't want to make you go from depressed to even more depressed and then, potentially never wanting to come back because Thomas Tuchel was... if you lose to Southampton, I mean, I may have to put you down below Norwich in terms of predictions for the season. Wayne just quickly says, Prime, how much Gabriel worth again? 120 million, wasn't it?
Apparently, he's worth more than, 3 Champions League winning centre-backs, because apparently it's Champions League tax.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, not Champions League tax, back 3 tax.
Yeah,
but yeah, when Gabriel was the best centre-back in the league for a month, it wasn't back 3 tax. I don't understand it, but, it can never be my club.
My idol Benjinho is finished. But I want to talk about Ben Chilwell, right? So, as I said, as I alluded to, I read a magnificent article last night just before I went to bed. I've absolutely no idea where I read it or what it was, but it was actually a really good piece. And what it said is that obviously Chilwell had such a good end of season last season, winning the Champions League, did score in an FA Cup. He was just like a millimetre offside or some shit like that. So he had such a good end to the season. He was definitely tossing with Alonso for the left back position. Then went to the Euros, didn't get used a single game, which I didn't actually think what sort of effect that would have. The fact that Gareth Southgate, for at least 2 or 3 of those games, put a right back at left back instead of a Chilwell. I didn't realise how much that could have had an effect on Ben Chilwell. And apparently, obviously, he came back and obviously he's, suffered for mental health. He's seen a therapist and all of this. So essentially, what I want to ask is, do you think Tuchel's managed this right? Because what Tuchel's done is he's dragged him out of the firing range and he's decided to just let him relax a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, I wonder, because on the surface, if you take it for what its surface work, what it is, it's, some people may not read the whole thing and go, oh no, a football player's not been picked for his country, oh no, like that. But we don't know the conversations that were had, if any conversations were. Why was he told he wasn't being picked? He's just won the European Cup. I can understand maybe Shaw being picked ahead of him, but Trippier,
on form, yeah.
But Trippier, I know he won he's a right back. How was it said? How was it communicated? Was it communicated? Stuff like that, because people, you can't treat everyone the same. Okay, okay. How was it? He might. We don't know what. Yes, we don't know and of course he's probably never going to go into it why he's doing it now. It'll probably be like in a book when he's retired or something like that. But it's like we don't know the conversations he had with Gareth Southgate, whether he did have any, how was he told, stuff like, or was he told? Was he, it's stuff like that, and we've seen it these past 18 months to 2 years has told us anything. You can see how people have had mental mental issues and struggles.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably all of us here have had that, and may still have that, or may still go on to that because of certain things. And everyone go, oh yeah, well, he's got his money and everything like that. That's great, and you can simplify it to that unempathetic, unsympathetic thing. But remember, it's still a job for these guys. It's a great job. It's one of the greatest jobs ever. It's a high-profile job, but he still wants to play for. He wants to play for his country. Yeah, he's come off a fantastic season. He's won a European Cup in his first season. Up yours, Leicester fans. You know what I mean? It's like, what? We don't know. So we don't know how different things affect each other. And probably Tuchel's right. That's what I do love about Tuchel. I think he's so good at man management. I do. I think he's so good so far. So, but like I said, we just don't know. I think it's brave for him. I think it's brave for anyone to come out and admit something like that. Especially, we know how hard it is for men, guys. The pride always sometimes gets in the way, and we rather suffer in silence. But I think it's good. Like, are
you happy with?
Just out who's listening. Do you know what I mean?
Are you happy with how Tuchel's dealt with it though? Which is basically because let's be fair, Chelsea is arguably one of the most brutal places for a footballer if you're not on form, if you're not playing well, because of how ruthless of the club is, and that's not a dig at the club. That's just how you run. Yeah. Has Tuchel done the right thing of just drag Ben away from all of that? Let Alonso, and Alonso's been quite good, mind you. So, I mean, if Tuchel wanted to phrase it, he could just be like, well, currently, unfortunately, Alonso has had a whole pre-season. He's been rather good. Ben will get his time, of course. He's a great left back. He's not been dropped. He's not been ignored. Just Alonso's been too good. If he did want to phrase it like that, I think people would understand. But no, I think it's really important of how Tuchel has dealt with this. Harry is a Newcastle fan. I hear that.
I'm so sorry.
Big up. Smash the like button. Sonny doesn't know when Liverpool was founded. He's just an idiot. Prime Winter Surfer, would you guys have bought Grealish for 75?
Yes, because we need a creator in our team.
Well,
what he was doing with Charl, I would 100% agree. This is the same thing Lampard 2 seasons ago should have done with Kepa. It's the same thing Lampard last season should have done with Timo Werner. His mental health was being affected. And this is something that football fans never think about and take into account. All this, all the abuse and stuff that we, we, not us particularly, but that football fans send towards players, whether knowingly or unknowingly, it's going to take a toll on them. And like as someone who suffers with mental health, it's not a great place to be. And I'm great that Ben Chilwell taking that out of the firing line, because if he had had a bad performance against, say, Arsenal and we had lost, or Spurs or Liverpool, Chelsea fans would have slated him and destroyed him. At least they're doing the same thing to Alonso to a certain extent, but I don't know. Maybe Alonso is just, I guess, has a tougher mentality.
I was just about to say, everyone deals with it. Everyone deals with it differently. Alonso probably deals with it like I would, which is basically like, I'll just do one, guys.
Yeah, no, so I don't know.
I think Prime's right. I mean, we all have something we've suffered with, whether it's a great deal or something like that. I mean, I met a couple of weeks ago. I wasn't feeling good for the past couple of months. Yeah. Just generally. And I didn't. My problem is I'm telling people to reach out. I didn't really do that. I just moved. I told Prime last night. One day I just got up and I looked at my room, and it's such a small thing, and I thought, I don't like this room. Do you know what I mean? And then I just moved stuff around, and I've been happier for the past. Last couple of weeks.
Believe it or not,
it's stupid, but
Yeah. No, I'm the same. Like, my room has moved at least 3 or 4 times since I've been in here. But even if it's like, Today I bought like a new, one of those plug-in air freshener things you just put in your room.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
got, obviously, because I used to smoke in my room, it was the most fouling thing in the world. Now I've quit smoking, it's like I want to make it smell nice because it will help boost my mood a bit. But we all have that, and I think it takes the right manager to deal with it. And criticize Ollie all you like, but he's very good at diverting the pressure away from the players because he knows half the fans hate him. So he'll just say ridiculous shit like McFred is a really good pivot and I like it because they break up play. Like Ollie will purposely say stupid shit like that to keep the pressure away from the players. But Tuchel, not like that, but just goes, right, well, okay, take you away from the firing line, Alonso. The Chelsea fans are going to have an AK-47. They're about to try and shoot you. Just do what you want to do, which is basically probably put your middle finger up to them and go grab an assist or something. But no, interestingly, he's obviously also not been brought into the England squad. We'll speak about that one in a bit, but we'll talk about it now. I do want to say, just off topic a little bit, Jude Bellingham should be in the England squad. It's bugged me.
Is he not in the England squad?
No, he's not in the England squad. But Gareth Southgate has given a reason why, and I'm going to throw this reason past you boys. Right? It's somewhat related. So basically, the reason that he said, and he specifically said, the reason that Bellingham and Greenwood are not with the England squad is because they're still young players with a high workload. I can understand that. That's fine. Why is he taking Bukayo Saka, who is the same age with very similar workload? Or is it actually the reason that Southgate hasn't got a fucking clue how to deal with a Bellingham and Greenwood because they're too good, that he's like, fuck it, they'll embarrass me because I can't use them correctly. I'll just leave them at home and pretend that it's because they're too young.
Also, Mount's been out with an injury. He might play tomorrow, right?
He's been in shit form as well.
But also Reece James went off last week, and I don't know if he'll play tomorrow. They're both in the England squad. What's the point? What is the point? Leave them out. There's another international break in November. Leave them out. You don't need them for these games.
I know.
If you need them for these games, that says more about you as a manager. I swear I know what we're going to see. Mount's going to play tomorrow. Whatever minutes he plays tomorrow, I guarantee you. How many games is it? Is it 1, 2? How many games is it?
3. Probably 2 or 3.
Whatever amount of games. I bet he plays at least combined something like 2 hours.
Andrew, he played all of them last time. He didn't get a minute off.
He didn't need to, and that's why. That's because he hardly had a pre-season as well. That's what's affecting him. So you're just overplaying this kid. All right,
but don't forget. Southgate said, "I only take players on form."
Conor Gallagher, is he?
Okay. Well, no. Harry Kane not on form. Mason Mount not on form. Jadon Sancho not on form. Luke Shaw not on form, although we are lacking left backs. Who else isn't on form? Maguire, you could argue, although I don't think he's in the squad. He is injured, but this is what I mean. It's ridiculous. Like, why? Who? I don't know who we're playing, but I'm sure we could have taken a Conor Gallagher.
You're playing Andorra at their stadium, and then you're playing Hungary at
Spain.
Oh, fuck my life. We need everyone for Andorra, Prime. Fuck. Oh, my Lord. How are we not going to get past Andorra without, like, Mount and Rice and what a tough game that is. Fucking Andorra. Do you know what? Conor Gallagher probably gets a brace against Andorra. I don't know what Greenwood would do to Andorra. Probably rip them to shreds, providing we keep them away from the women. If we could take Greenwood, just keep him away from the women there. All good.
Maybe the thing with him, like he's trying to have a core of group of England players that, so he can, because the World Cup is next year. So I understand that, I guess. But
I agree, but I expect Bellingham
needs to be given an opportunity eventually.
Yeah. I expect Bellingham and Greenwood to be a part of that core, though, don't you?
I will say this: I did read it last time. There was a report last time. I think I did read the last international break. There was a report something about him not taking Greenwood. For the reason that you said earlier, something about.
I understand why Greenwood doesn't play.
Why?
I understand why Greenwood's not brought. Young players in general. I think the way the English media and fans.
So why Saka go?
Few good games or a good season, people want them to be in the. I know you're going to say about Saka. Just listen, hear me out. People are like, oh, they have to be playing in the England team and stuff. Sometimes just let them naturally develop. And I know you're going to say, well, Saka's in there. But again, to be honest, and I love Saka, but Saka's nothing special compared to Greenwood. You would want to nurture Greenwood so he doesn't end up being 31 and he's burnt out in his career.
As long as Southgate plays Watkins instead of Kane, because I would like a striker who plays up front, not centre back.
Yeah. But, then again,
no
cup finals on the international stage. So trust them.
What, Southgate? You want me to trust Southgate?
Well,
I'll do you know what? I'm about to say something ridiculous. I think I'll trust Gabby to manage England more than Southgate.
Gabby would try and get married to Let's not do that.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants. To be honest, we'll talk about it more at the United show. But no,
we would get Greenwood deported.
Probably. To be fair, I was just. I'm not shocked by Greenwood not being in there because I know Southgate doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that Bellingham isn't in there. I was really surprised by that.
Do you think Greenwood starts for England?
Huh?
Do you think Greenwood starts for England? Best 11?
What, with Harry Kane the way he is right now?
No. Best 11 means everyone fully fit. Harry Kane.
Well, Harry Kane has variables. Is this a Harry Kane that's going to stop dropping deep and acting like a tosser and trying to be a central midfielder? Or is this going to be a Harry Kane that plays a number 9, sits on the last man and scores plenty of goals? Which Harry Kane am I getting?
It scores goals.
Okay, then Kane goes in there then. But I think Greenwood is second. I think Greenwood is an excellent backup there, but he can also play right wing, can't he? So it offers that flexibility.
No, was Raheem Sterling picked?
Oh, probably.
Even though he's been shit for City all season.
Well, let's be fair, Andrew. Of course Sterling will get picked. This is Gareth Southgate. He is basically a terrorist. Like, he is just... He is one step below Osama bin Laden. But moving on.
Wow.
The England squad. I mean, who's in it? Aaron Ramsdale's in it after.
Not even mad about that.
3 games with a title-winning defence. Reece James is still injured. Tomori got called up, but that's probably to give him a cap so he doesn't get to play for Nigeria.
No,
Connor Cody's in there.
I think you have to. There's a new rule in there that you can still change allegiances, but you have to play 3 games.
Oh, is it 3 games?
I think it's like 3 or 4 before you. So you can play 1 or 2, and you can still change allegiances.
I thought you had to play. I thought if you play a friendly, it's qualifier, then. You can't.
No, it used to be that.
Yeah, I thought they changed. I thought it got changed to you could play up to 3 games and still change within that time. Because there's a lot of people saying that Greenwood's going to go play for Jamaica, which is just ridiculous. What Greenwood's going to do is he's just going to wait for Southgate to get fired, and then he'll be like, okay, now I may get a chance.
Yeah,
it is mad. What's you lot rank on FPL? I'm sadly on the Let's Talk EPL table. I'm last, sadly. Yeah, you are last. I'm like second last, I think. But it's probably I got Greenwood as captain. No, I'll never remove that from him. Greenwood baller man. Now, why was Reece James named in the squad, taking injured players again? This clown. I know, for qualifiers as well. It's mad. you have to play 3 games. Yeah, so you can play 3 games, and that's when you then, you can't move. Although that will get changed in a few years' time to, you can play 3, but just try not to be. You can play 5 or, I don't know, unlimited movement. If that's the case, can we have Josh Kimmich, please? He's got nothing to do with England. I just really like the guy. He'll suit us wonderfully. But no, it does baffle me that we're taking injured players yet again for qualifiers, meaningless qualifiers. We've already qualified. All we have to do is get a draw against one of Andorra or Hungary. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. We should do that just about. I mean, heck, even if we drew against Andorra, I'd still be shitting angry. But no. Big up to Velv. Harry says, #Prime out. Prime out of what? Prime for England manager, actually. I don't know. That could be an interesting one. Prime will be manager of England. I'll be like, Andrew, that fucking Prime has left Greenwood out again. That's absolute tosser. I'll be like, Prime, here's a link. Defend yourself. What is your reasoning?
You'd send me a link at half-time.
Yeah, mate, there'll be a link. I'll be like, I want answers. My watch along, I'll be like, Andrew, I'm half asleep, mate. This is worse than South Cable. But at least Saka probably don't go. I don't know.
No. Saka would start. Left wing back.
Oh, you're what? You're not playing
left wing back. Left wing back. Left wing back. He's better than Chilwell and better than Luke Shaw.
Hold on, but you're playing 3 at the back. Okay, I'll be moaning before the ball's even been kicked. Then I'll be like 3 centre backs. Jesus Christ!
If Prime's in charge, bring back Lampard. I want crossing into football. That's what I want. I want crossing into not this.
I mean, they're crossing inshallah, but
Andrew, open the window. I need to destroy the evidence. The police are coming. Prime in. Prime for POTUS.
I'm not going to be United States anymore, Bill.
Prime, do you fancy trying to fix the world, or more importantly, fix America?
How much does the president get paid?
He gets to live in the White House for free, and he gets a Secret Service, and I think he gets quite a bit of money. It's America.
Yeah, the thing is, Prime, you get it. What you do is, presidency is not about being president. It's about afterwards getting all that after dinner speaking and, the amount of thousands of dollars and then the books and then everything like that.
What's funny is they tell me about aliens, but I can't tell anyone.
That's true.
Oh, brilliant.
That's the problem.
I'm going to get censored after that. Sonny does know what country Matip's from, doesn't know the left back in 2005, and said, we have a red bird.
I don't understand that.
He knows nothing about Liverpool being exposed. Basically, just to summarise with Sonny, he says a lot of things for clicks, and guys, what's your front 3 tomorrow? We'll get into that one. Let's talk Juventus. I wasn't planning on moaning about England, but then I don't know. I couldn't hold back. But I want to talk about Juventus. What the hell happened there? I mean, they're like shit, really, really shit. Prime, we'll start with you on this one. I mean, ay caramba indeed. I don't know what to say about that performance. You're muted.
I told people it wouldn't be as easy. I warned people about Juventus that without Ronaldo, certain players would step up. They played essentially a false 9.
Oh.
None of our players.
You cut out there, Prime.
Oh yeah, I told people that Juve would be a test for us. That they don't have a striker, so they just play on the counter attack with Chiesa. Our forward line cannot create. Ziyech again. didn't want this guy in the first place when we signed him. Chelsea fans got gassed because of one goal against Kepa, and apparently Kepa is the worst Premier League goalkeeper of all time. So that shouldn't count, should it? Havertz. I didn't watch the time told us that he's this generational Ballon d'Or talent. I have not seen any of that. He was worse than Timo Werner last season. Because Havertz scored in the Champions League final, everyone loves him. I don't get it. Something's got to give. And I hear people making excuses and saying, oh, Lukaku's disrupted how we play now or whatever. That's bullshit because apparently we created the second most chances in Europe last season. We just couldn't finish because of Werner. Now we've got an actual finisher and we're not creating chances for him. And people want to scapegoat Lukaku because he only had Juventus, but that's not enough. Lukaku's not a 1-2 striker that he's going to score that chance. He does need a lot of chances. We need to feed him those said chances. Someone like Salah, who's prolific at Liverpool, he'd suffer playing for us because we're not going to give him the chances that he needs to score. Werner suffered last season. We weren't giving him the chances that he needs to score. And yet people want to find scapegoats. People are going to, we're again, I'm going to say play Werner because at least he's creating chances for us. But people are going to say, oh, but he's not finishing. Havertz is not doing anything. Ziyech is not doing anything. Callum, when he plays, he's not doing anything either. Mount has been poor this season. So what else do we actually have? If we don't play Werner, then who else? We're going to persist continuously with Havertz or continuously persist with Ziyech? Or Mount is kind of slaying. What are we going to do? Eventually, someone has to get a chance, And it's I'm not blaming Tuco for these past 2 games because I think tactically, I don't think he did necessarily wrong per se. I'm gonna look at these players because we've got a world-class manager, so there's not a lot I can necessarily fault him for. Is to assist him, and again, people have to remember. Take away the fact he's won a Champions League, he's been in the job not even a year, and these are not his players. He's the only player we've signed is Lukaku. This guy wanted a right wing back, we didn't get one. This guy wanted a midfielder in Tchouameni or Declan Rice, we didn't get one. This guy wanted an experienced creator, we didn't get one. So he wanted Koundé, we didn't get one. We didn't get him. So how much did we back this guy? People are saying 10 out of 10 window, and now we can't create for our world-class striker. And this isn't me being reactionary, by the way, because this is thoughts I've had since the summer. These are stuff that I've said since the summer. So me saying this is not reactionary. It's my genuine thought process of and if we don't win the league or retain the Champions League, it's stuff like this, our lack of creativity is what's going to cost us.
No, I agree. Some comments here. You lost to the worst Juventus team in years. Werner is a pest, but in terms of proper creating, he ain't great, to be honest. I don't think you have one that's great. Lukaku don't turn up in big games. Again, he's not fed enough. Let's talk Premier League, not Chelsea. Welcome to Chelsea Show. Welcome to the
7 goal contributions. This whole thing of Werner doesn't create. Matt created the most chances in Europe last season, and Werner still has more assists than him. So I don't care how much you're creating. If you're not getting assists, I don't care.
Yeah. But yeah, Charlie, we have a Liverpool show, United show, Chelsea show. Didn't have an Arsenal show, but then they got a bit small. But yeah, we do a variety of content. Without Kante in the squad, Chelsea is an absolute shambles. This is a Chelsea show, mate. It is. Ross, fight me. Can't give Lukaku chances with your current squad. That's the biggest joke I've heard all week. What he's thinking is that someone like Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic is going to create chances. Well, that's not their job, right? I don't mean to sound rude, but that's like expecting Frenkie de Jong to create all of the chances in the Netherlands team. That's just not his job. Every role on that pitch is different. That's like expecting David De Gea to go and, I don't know, assist a free kick or something. You know what I mean? A bit mad there. You have an assist that make you necessarily creative. So, Prime, by your logic, I expect Werner to be the most creative when he is on the pitch with the ball at his feet.
No, what do you mean by my logic? Your logic is Werner's not creative. His assist is nowhere near Werner.
Yeah.
At least Werner contributes to us, or Werner being on the field contributes to us getting goals, or being more of a threat. So I don't get what you're trying to say. I expect him to be more creative when he's on the pitch with the ball at his feet. What does that have to do with anything? I didn't say Werner's creative. I said Werner gets assists.
Yeah. And then you said without the assists, I don't care how creative you are, which is fair. Yeah. I think it was Grealish, and Velvet with just a stupid comment there. But I think it was Grealish that said it in terms of it doesn't matter what you do in terms of eye test. All that matters is the stats. And a lot of people go, "Oh, stats merchant." Well, no, because with stats, it suggests you're doing something right. Because to get an assist, you have to feed someone a goal-scoring opportunity to which that is scored. Now, yes, on the rare occasion, they may fluff their lines. A prime example is when Greenwood fed Pogba through one-on-one, and Pogba, instead of putting it in the back of the net, puts it wide of the goal. It's like, okay, that is a net that isn't Mason's fault. He put it on the plate for Paul Pogba, but it was Pogba that missed it. But a game is stats. That's what football is, right? Goals are stats. Assists are stats. The only one that I think is a bit dumb to really look at is goalkeepers, because that's a very, very niche position on the pitch where stats can't actually give you what you need, because a lot of a prime example is Ramsdale, a very good goalkeeper, plays for Sheffield United, so he's going to have bad stats, right? It was just facts. So that's the only time I wouldn't, but a combination of stats and eye test work. But I hear what Prime is saying, because I want assists. If you're not doing assists, I don't care. But Andrew, what about you? What do you think?
I understand. I think I like it when people use stats in an argument, but then when someone brings up the stat that maybe goes against what they're saying, they're not interested in the stat anymore. The stats are very important. You know, I'm of the mind of, you know, what is this player bought to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? What is he bought to do? So in the case of Timo Werner, and it's probably because I don't know many people watched Timo Werner before we signed him. I don't believe that many people watch who they're going to sign until they're actually linked with him. Do you know what I mean? Something like that. I know Timo Werner played. There's maybe some people in the Champions League. That's fine. But if you didn't know Timo Werner, you were being sold on him scoring goals for us because he notched 34 goals the previous season. Now everyone will go, oh yeah, but he's got 27 goals and assists last year, which is great, and I absolutely understand that. But if we boil it down, we were sold that he was going to score plenty of goals from us, and he has missed. Did he miss like 22 chances last season, like real good chances last season? So then, if you're looking at the stats to say one thing, that he's got great assists, I think most assists last season for us, and you're accepting that, then why do you have an issue when someone goes, yeah, but he only scored 6 league goals? Do you know what I mean? It's like, why do that? And now, even now, I'm like, my requirement. Sorry, I don't expect when Werner plays. I now don't expect him to score. Yeah. So now, if he does score, for me, it's nothing more than a bonus, because I don't expect him to score. So, and with Ziyech, now I don't expect him to do anything. So, Juventus, while I slated him, I was not surprised. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, where do you, and then now, if you have a different opinion on a player, but someone else tells you that they're this, that, and that. Okay, then I'm going to apply your standards for that player, and I'll apply mine to that player as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll apply your standards when you're defending him, and then going that. If you notice, that whatever happens, favorite team, favorite manager, favorite player. If someone's defending them because of their stats or something like that, the first response will be, "But he's better than that person." Yeah. Or they play better than that person. No, we're talking about, for example, Werner, right?
Yeah.
His Tottenham cameo, 20 minutes, was the perfect example of Timo Werner this past year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lukaku, I tell you what, who should be pissed off. They're robbed of assists at the moment. It's Lukaku. Because he should have had at least 4 assists by now, as well as his goals. He played on the ball to Werner beautifully twice. The first time, Werner missed control and got it stuck under his foot. And the second one, honestly, someone's going to have to tell me what he was thinking with that finish, because he tried to dink it, but it was such a poor chip. It was literally into the hand. But then what happened? About 5 minutes later, the assist comes. So all the Werner fanboys go, "See, he made an impact in the game," and he did. You're right, but it's one of these things. Like I keep saying, listen, did he play well? First of all, did Chelsea win? Yes, I'm glad Chelsea won. Then let's look at the performances afterwards. But you're gonna have to. That's what I'm saying. You also don't need to. We don't need to have big arguments about it. We can have rational, like we're doing with us three right now, and always on this channel. We have rational debates.
Unless you mention Greenwood, and then I'm gonna.
Yeah, unless you mention Greenwood's a fraud, which he is, and he's he's a. But yeah,
welcome to North Korea, Andrew.
You know what? You should be able to accept criticism no matter what, and just then, even if you don't agree, just say I disagree, and I'll tell you why I disagree, and then move on.
Like me, I think with that, I understand what Andrew's saying with Greenwood, where not Greenwood, what's his name, Werner, where if he scores, it's a bonus. But for me, I look at our forwards where I don't care who's scoring necessarily or who's assisting, just contribute to our forward line. So if Lukaku comes and he only gets 10 goals this season, but if he's contributing to our forward line and he's got 20 assists, I'm not going to complain. Oh, he only has 10 goals. We spent 100 million on. He got us 20 assists and he contributed to us for, say, winning the league.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain. The same like last season. I understand 6 goals in the league is bad. I get that. But again, like 27 goal contributions in your first season in the Premier League when you're suffering with like mental health problems and all of that and Lampard and stuff. Like, I don't necessarily think that's that bad. Obviously, now he needs to kick on, yes. But again, I don't care per se who's the one getting the majority of the goals or the majority of the assists, as long as you're all contributing, which is why with someone like, say, look, Havertz right now is frustrating me because he's meant to be this amazing player and he's not performing. Mount frustrating me because he's meant to be our best player and he's the most creative player and everything in the world or whatever, or behind Messi, and he doesn't have the outputs to prove that at all. Like, it's when, like, and again, I look like Saka, for example. I love Saka. People know that. But the reason why I say he's better as a wing back than he is as a forward player, because his stats do not match up whatsoever. His stats don't rank up to someone like someone like Greenwood or Sancho or some talented inside forwards or forward players, because like his stats are nowhere near there. Saka's stats is comparable with Mason Mount's, and probably Mount's is better. I'm not hearing the point of he plays in a worse team, because that's not necessarily an argument. Pepe's stats outstrip him, So, like...
Do you think we should look away from... So, back in the day, you'd look at goals, and even then, that was up for a debate, because Wayne Rooney got more assists and goals half the time when playing with Ronaldo, mainly because Ronaldo wouldn't let him score goals. Do you think we should just take away the whole Lukaku has to score this many goals, Greenwood has to score this many goals, or that? Should we just look at it as how many goal contributions have they got? So Do you remember? I think I said it about Greenwood. I expect this season 20 goals or assists, so 20 goal contributions. That can be 1 goal, 19 assists. I don't care how many you get of each, as long as you get to that target. So for Lukaku, I think it's fair to expect 25 goal contributions. It's like how he says Lukaku is a failure if he doesn't score 40 goals. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Wait, C1 London. Sorry, now I don't mean to interrupt you. C1 London says fair prime, but context is important. Has to come with it. What is your context then? Because if the context is people were missing the chances Mount created, then how is Werner our top assister? Werner has, I think, what is it, 16 assists or whatever, something like that. Like, how does Werner have our most assists if everyone's missing chances? Because I would assume Mount's assists would be on par with everyone else's. But what it seems is that when comparatively with the minutes played and stuff, Havertz and Pulisic and even Ziyech, their assist numbers are better than Mount's.
Yeah.
So to me, how does that then make sense if Mount's our best player?
And you
I'm
mentioned,
not by the way,
and you
I'm just trying
mentioned
to prove a point that Werner is not that bad. I'm just trying to prove that point.
You mentioned a key point when looking at stats as well, per 90. That's the key. That's the key. Not the actual number, it's per 90. So that's what I mean. So when you look at a stat, stats are great, and I love looking at stats. So for me, I look at it in terms of per 90, because Lukaku could have, I don't know, 10 goals. Werner could have 7, but Werner might have played a lot less minutes. Therefore, Werner's goal per minute ratio is higher or lower or higher, whatever it is, compared to someone else. So for me, I do, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's just my thought on it.
Well, I just like to say, it's like stats are great, you know, output's great. I said this to a lot of Man United fans, like Flawless Olympian. It's like we were getting, you know, Bruno scored the most goals in any league season for an attacking midfielder, right? Last season, yeah, broke the record for Premier League. And I just say to them, that's great, and you can have all the records, but what does it lead to? That's the stat I want to know. Does it lead to silverware? I don't know.
Mount played just as many minutes as Timo Werner that season as well. So let's not do this.
On in terms of the timeout, it's no one's timed him out. It's because he's used capitals. I don't know why YouTube is an absolute bitch for this all the time. So essentially, if you just put all capitals, you get timed out. I don't know if I don't know if anyone's ever had that problem before.
I've never seen that. No, I've never seen that before.
I need to work out how, if there's something on my end I can do to fix that. But if you use capital letters, I need to emphasize this all the time. If you use capital letters, you get timed out by YouTube. I don't know why.
Wow.
I do. In fact, I do need to Google that, and I'll Google that now. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about the game coming up tomorrow. Obviously, you face Southampton. The last time you lost consecutive home games, the second team you played was Southampton. Any concerns for tomorrow's game?
You know what? I know they haven't won a game, but they still held City 0-0 a couple of weeks ago. So I don't know. I think it might be a lot tougher than people may think. I know they haven't won, but I still think it might be one where we have to maybe bide our time. I don't think it's going to be a free scoring game. I don't think we're going to end up winning 3 or 4-0, possibly only 2-0. But it might be a little bit difficult than most people think. I still expect us to win, though. No doubt if Livramento... Oh, no, Livramento can play disease, but no doubt if Livramento plays now, we'll get all the people going, oh, we shouldn't have sold him. Oh, my God, going to want him back next summer. Oh, no. And it's like, oh, for God's sake. Thank God for an international break. But, yeah, I expect us still to win, but I just don't think it'll be a pushover or walkover. So.
Yeah. No, I do hear that. Prime, what about you?
They haven't won in the league yet, so they should dictate that they should beat us. But I don't know. I think they're poor defensively. It should be a good game for us to bounce back in, going into an international break, pick up some sort of form. You're right, Andrew, in what you're saying about Livermental. But again, if this guy looks good, but he doesn't get a goal or an assist, then what are Chelsea fans going to gas up? Really? And plus, we should keep him and play him over Reece James, who you guys didn't want us to sign Hakimi because it would stunt Reece James's growth. And then all of a sudden, we have 2 wing backs, and then Callum can't start in the team, and his growth is also stunted. What do you want?
Yeah.
And also, we have Musonda to worry about as well. He's fit and firing. Should we stunt his growth? Like, stupid people. But yeah, I don't know. I think we should win this 2-0, 3-0. Look, I want to get back to winning ways and get back with a clean sheet. They don't have Danny Ings anymore. They missed that threat. Broha has played well for them this season.
He won't play.
But yeah, exactly. So they missed that threat. They only have Shea Adams and Armstrong looks good. Armstrong looks good, but other than that, no. People say Cho should play right wing back. If Cho plays right wing back, it would not surprise me if we don't win the game, because he's going to get burnt by Nathan Redmond. People don't rate Nathan Redmond, but I do. He's got a pace in him. He's got a step in him and a trick. Again, it's not going to take much to beat Callum, and all of a sudden it's going to start pulling our back 3 apart and pulling our midfield apart. And seeing as Kante is not fully fit, it's going to be Jorginho and Kovacic, and they're going to get run around. And people are going to blame Jorginho and Kovacic for having a bad game, when realistically, Callum is the one causing a lot of that if he plays. So I don't know, whatever. But I just hope we win, man. Just because the Chelsea fan base, when we lose, is toxic. I don't like our fan base at all.
Yeah, you certainly certainly do. Redneck Blue says stats create false narrative.
There we go.
It can be. Stats are weird. Stats have to be used in such a delicate fashion because they have to be used so correctly. You cannot, and this is the problem with wrong people using stats to do it in such a way of when they misuse them. When a stat is misused, I can't name a good example, but I'm sure we all know what I mean. And you misuse stats to make it look a narrative. For example, if Ads was to look at Fred's stats and was like, yeah, but he's got the most forward passes out of the Premier League, that could be misinterpreted into a false stat because he's then trying to say, well, yeah, but look how much more progressive Fred is. Whereas a lot of those passes are maybe one foot in front of him to McTominay, or Bruno's dropped so far deep to collect that ball from him. It's not in terms of Fred is progressive, but because he's got the more forward stats in terms of forward passes, that stat could then be misinterpreted to go, Fred is a very progressive player. Look, he's more progressive than Ilkay Gundogan or something like that.
The stats are like yesterday, one of the most meaningless stats ever. Harry Kane scored a hat-trick in the Conference League, right?
Yeah.
So there's a stat where he scored a hat-trick in the Conference League, Europa League, Champions League, Premier League, and International. Who cares? Yeah. And also, I do think we do have to. They're going to have to I think they're going to have to redefine the assist stat as well, because if you and I are playing, right? Oh, someone's say Fred did a 5-yard pass to Pogba in the middle of the Manchester United midfield. I don't know if that's even changed. It might be. It depends on how many touches, or it was on the edge of the box. He just simply passed it 5 yards on the edge of the box. Pogba turns one player and then curls it in. That counts as that counts.
No, you are right. That is legit. That is a legit assist, and that baffles me regularly. But no, I do hear you, and stats need to be stats need to be used by the right people. That's it, really. Zane called LFC Sonny LFC dummy who supports Redbird FC, not Liverpool. Redneck Blue agreed at times. I don't disagree. Cho ain't great defensively. Only valid when people already like the player.
Yeah.
Benzema once said, "You can have a terrible game, get a goal and assist, and get man of a match." This is true.
That's true.
He's not wrong. He's so not wrong. But no, look, Chelsea have got a big game. We'll be back next week. God knows what we're going to talk about because we've got another international break, which is going to be really fun.
We'll talk about this weekend's games.
I might see if anyone's up for a game of I don't know, Hangman or Scrabble. I don't.
Or something.
Chelsea quiz.
A quiz might be a good idea.
Chelsea.
I've got one idea. I've got a few ideas that we can do. It'll be more fun. It'll be less talking about crap. Mount going to unleash his inner Portsmouth fan against Southampton. Yeah, he is a Pompey fan, isn't he? Which is why I'm not too keen on the wanker because Dockyard Derby and all that. No, I'm joking. Mount ain't too bad. But we are Dockyard Derby is because Plymouth and Portsmouth both have ports, both naval bases. So Dockyard Derby. You got the Pompey docks, the Plymouth docks, Dockyard Derby. It's a very naval. Derby. Yeah, it's a very naval derby. It's not a proper derby, Andrew. It's one that is pretty meaningless. The proper one is the Devon derby against the scum up the road.
Is it more of a derby than the M23 derby?
What the hell is the M23?
Brighton. Palace.
That is not a derby. That is not a derby.
Wait, Ross said finish off the smasher pass.
We should react to Pornhub videos. No, thank you. Finish off. Charl's meant to be doing that. If you want to see the end of the smash or pass, message Charl at Charl_strong on Twitter and spam her messages saying when is the smash or pass.
Don't do that because people are going to send her. Don't do that. If Charlotte's up for it, me, Charlotte, and Niall and Andrew or whoever else wants to join, we can do another one on the channel. Or
absolutely not on this channel though.
Okay, fine. We'll do it on the first XI.
Yeah.
Indiana is gonna love that. Indiana gonna love that.
We'll make it an extra time show. It's fine.
In hockey, they have the first assist and secondary assist. Secondary is sometimes the most important.
We got the pre-assist. We got the pre-assist, haven't we?
Yeah. The pre-assist. Greenwood had one of those. I'm buzzing for it. I'm still yet to have an idea what Prime's type is. You may never know. How about a WWE match, Prime versus Andrew? That could be interesting.
No way, man. There's no way.
I don't fight women. I don't fight women.
Prime's Andrew's face said it's like, what did he just say?
No, because I know Andrew was going to say something, so I had to get him first.
I was actually going to say we don't fight. It's a blood pact. We don't fight.
Oh, now there will be a fight.
Now you've done a heel turn on me. You've low me.
Now it's gonna be a Hell in the Cell match, and Andrew's going for the steel steps already. He means business.
Hell in a Cell, barbed wire, flaming table.
How long did those fights last for?
Well, don't worry, I'll make it last with you. Don't worry, I'll make it last.
No,
Hell in the Cell. No, normally like Hell in the Cell. If it's a good one, you can get 40-minute one out of it.
No, I only need 2 minutes. 10 seconds and then
Redneck
1
Blue
minute
says
50 speech.
Time's type is hand.
Well, yes, obviously it's important she's got hands.
I'm the referee. Pay me £10, I'll let you win. Velv, you are not the referee.
£10? Is that cheap you are, Velv? Jesus.
Yeah, to be fair, we all know that Velv's quite cheap anyway.
We got a deal on pot noodles or something, Velv. Is that what he's got a deal on Pochettino's penis. But moving on.
Lord! We all know that Velv is inclined to a little bit of penis. But we are going to wrap it up there. I'll be back at 10 p.m. with the United show. Kieran Kenny and I think Rachel is going to be on that, which is going to be great because yes, 100%. Okay, it's going to be interesting. Okay, it's my first one that this is the first United show that I've hosted since the first ever one. So that is going to be an interesting one. And we're going to be talking about Ronaldo and his fanboys because they've decided to pick on the wrong youngster. Because a lot of them go,
Greenwood.
they say he's very selfish, and I think they all fail to realise that Ronaldo was the most selfish player when he was young. Literally, to the point where I'm pretty sure Wayne Rooney would have happily chinned the wanker at least 5 times again. And I'm pretty sure Neville would have chinned him as well. This whole selfishness argument, it's like, okay, cool. Don't try and say that Ronaldo's never been selfish, because I remember watching him and he was very selfish. The most selfish player there is.
Are you talking about the last game where I think Greenwood shot when he should have passed or something?
Yeah, but what they failed to realise is the minute that Cavani came on, Greenwood actually put a peach of a ball right onto his forehead. But Greenwood is too selfish. Maybe it's just Ronaldo. Maybe it's just that Ronaldo. Maybe it's just that Ronaldo and Greenwood don't. Maybe Ronaldo and Greenwood just don't have that connection yet, where Greenwood can assist to him. Because the minute that Cavani's on the pitch, Greenwood and Cavani seem to have that link up, and Greenwood knows exactly what to do for Cavani. So maybe it's just a time issue.
Wasn't there an interview though, Niall, where Greenwood said his favourite player is Messi?
There's also an interview that Greenwood apparently his eyes light up when you mention Cavani's name around him. So clearly Greenwood does not like Ronaldo.
Bond.
It's quite clear.
No,
and
I'm on that show at that since the Europa final game that Manchester United squad has got better, but somehow when to Wednesday night, David De Gea was the Man United's man of the match. We also mentioned that.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely talking about Villarreal. No, I've got a theory behind this. I think
again, I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the game, but from what United fans told me, like, was he not just in that game alone? Was he selfish? Was he selfish in that game?
Greenwood has always been greedy. That's just Greenwood, right? The same as Ronaldo when he was a kid was greedy. The same with Salah. All top players are greedy, right?
Hello, strikers are greedy.
But also, the minute that Cavani comes on, Greenwood instantly knows, and you could see it because Cavani literally, the minute he comes on, he speaks to Ronaldo and Bruno for a bit, and then looks over to Greenwood, and instantly you can just see him going like that, which means I'm only guessing. Well, I'm guessing that means go round the defender, cross goes in. I'll be at the far post if you need me. That can only be what I imagine, or it's put across in far post. But that's the thing, you build that connection up. But we'll talk more about that in the United show. Redneck Blue says I'd buy Greenwood for Chelsea. I think he would work wonders at Chelsea. Wonders.
Yeah.
Andrew, thanks for the money.
Greenwood would eventually stop scoring goals because we wouldn't create enough for him.
No. Because I think do you know what? If Greenwood could get a good connection with Lukaku, similar to what he has with Cavani, I think Greenwood would create a lot for Lukaku because some of the crosses that Greenwood can deliver, and it is a myth that he can't cross the ball because he bloody can. I mean, as I said, he put a peach of a ball in for Cavani. How Cavani put that wide of the bottom post, I will never know. But I genuinely think Greenwood would create an awful lot for Cavani and for Lukaku, and I think vice versa. I think Lukaku would create an awful lot for Greenwood as well. But that's a different show. We'll talk more about that in the United
strikers
show.
Are always good at crossing. They're always good at crossing strikers.
I know. It's just one of them. But we'll be back at 10 p.m. for, as I said, the United show. But until then, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Follow our socials, Twitter, Let's Talk EPL, Instagram, Let's Talk EPL _ and on TikTok, Let's Talk Premier League. Prime, where can they find you if you're not watching Astrid Wet on OnlyFans? He really is looking at Astrid Wet.
He's focused, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's just put a dildo up herself.
Wait, what?
Jesus.
Oh, we said it. Where can they find you if you're not looking at Astrid Wet on OnlyFans?
Oh, I thought you said something about. No, never mind. Let me not speak. No, I was just watching. Someone sent me a clip of what's his name, Sonny, doing the competition thing on the terrace. I'll send it to you. It's funny. But yeah, you can catch me. Yesterday on the first XI, we did the Chelsea show with myself, Andrew,
Wayne.
You can catch me on the terrace tomorrow after the Chelsea game, and you can also catch me on Monday on Never Foul, the Blue Wave, talking. I'm assuming we're doing something related to Chelsea. Are we doing a tiering list?
On Monday, yes. Monday we are. Yeah, Monday we're doing 10 best Chelsea midfielders under Roman Abramovich, and not wide players, the central midfield players. So
okay, so like Andrew said, we're doing the top 10 Chelsea midfielders that are better than Steve.
Yeah, they're all better than Steven Gerrard. They've all won more than Steven Gerrard as well, so that's it as well.
Nice. And Andrew, where can they find you, mate?
So yes, Prime said, Never Foul. We'll be on there. I don't know if we're doing a review tomorrow after the game, but we'll probably do a review Monday for the show. On there, good guys, great content. But the Blue Wave, subscribe to that. Otherwise, like I say, I'll be on here Fridays as best I can, given my work schedule. Do you know what? Just follow me at the Winter Surfer. I'll tweet out what I'm on. Just follow me there.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you do that.
In the chat. Sorry, Drew, do. What is this love for Andrew in the chat?
You're just jealous.
Yes, I am jealous. What is this love for Andrew in the chat?
And on that note, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Sickening and jealous.